Oligopolies occupy a few main characteristics, and one of them is price rigidity, or you may have heard of it as price stickiness. This price stickiness is shown perfectly on the kink demand curve. But before we get into the diagram, let's investigate some of the theory behind it. So, why is there price rigidity in oligopolies? This is due to firms have no incentive to change the price. A great stat to back that up, and this price rigidity is shown in many oligopolies around the world, so not just the US, but 95% of US airline fares remain unchanged from one quarter to another. We've learnt about the different types of price competition, with one of them being price wars. So, why do oligopolies not engage in price wars by decreasing prices to therefore steal consumer demand away? On the other hand, why do oligopolies not try to increase price to therefore increase the revenue per unit? Let's investigate these two scenarios using the kinked demand curve. In oligopolies, the price stickiness or the price rigidity is around this point. So in this example, the price of £1 and the quantity of 500. And why is this? To put it simply, as we've learned in another video, this part of the kinked demand curve is elastic. Therefore, if we increase prices, we will get elastic demand. And the second part of the kinked demand curve is inelastic. Therefore, if you decrease price, it will be inelastically demanded. Now, let's investigate what that actually means. Revenue is calculated by price multiplied by quantity. So let's calculate the revenue here. So you have £1 and a quantity of 500. So 1 times 500, this will of course get us a revenue of £500. Now let's imagine a firm is sick and tired of just receiving £500 revenue and wants to aim for more. One strategy they can use to do that is price wars. And what does price wars include? Decreasing prices. So if a firm decreases price, how would that now affect their total revenue? Let's see, for example, if a firm decreased their price to £0.79, therefore meaning that a consumer would substitute away as it's cheaper than their competitor. But now let's see how that will affect quantity demanded. So just going straight right from there until we hit our demand curve, then going straight down. Of course, we'll be using a ruler here, but as you can see, for an estimate, this might only be 550 quantity demanded. Now, let's work out the total revenue there. So our price is now 79p, but we have got an increase in quantity demanded to 550. So what will that work out to be? And that totals to £434.50. And now, if you compare these two, it clearly shows by a firm decreasing the price, they have received decreased revenue. And why does that happen? It's just simply due to the nature of the inelastic section of the demand curve, as even if price decreases significantly, quantity demanded will not be as responsive, therefore meaning that firms will lose out on revenue. So this shows why there is no incentive for firms to decrease price. And let's think about the other way firms can price their goods. They can try to increase price, which in some scenarios can actually increase revenue. So for example, putting price up to £1.20. Let's see how that is going to affect the main thing, quantity demanded. So now the firm will receive 150 units of quantity demanded. Again, same calculation, price multiplied by the quantity. Now what will this give us? This will give us £180. But now in this scenario, we see by a firm increasing prices, we see a decrease in total revenue from £500 to now £180. And all the theory of why this happens is covered in previous videos, but of course, when prices increase above equilibrium price in oligopolistic markets, consumers will switch to substitutes, meaning that quantity demanded falls significantly, which what we can see from 500 to 150. Thus, we call this initial section of the kink demand curve the elastic section. Why? Because consumers are very responsive to changes in price, therefore suggesting elastic demand. Now, after assessing both scenarios, so when a firm increases prices and when a firm decreases prices, it really shows why there's absolutely zero incentive for firms to change the price of £1, and it shows the reason for price stickiness and price rigidity, because in both scenarios, the firm loses out, therefore there is no incentive for a firm to change price, which again is the reason we see price stickiness as one of the main features of oligopolies.